Hi, how do you do?
Hello.
Hi, my name is Kate. I'm the wife of Barney. How do you do?
Barney.
Are you gonna take pictures?
We roll out the red carpet for you both. You can have a seat. Try to get as comfortable as you possible.
Sure.
It's in the restroom, so as soon as you.
Okay, fine. There's refreshments here if you
I'll be right back for you.
Hey,
anything.
it's quite a place.
Yeah, we kind of consider ourselves kind of a treasure. There is no other school in either this neighborhood or even throughout the city that does the kind of things that we do.
It's like what do you do? What makes you different?
Okay, so we can start off with the fact that we do have, it started out as a drone program, but it's really a MediaArts STEM program.
Oh my goodness.
So it has all of this. In fact, why should I talk when I can show you,
Oh,
you know,
what is this? Oh, sorry, let's see if you look at this. What is this for the school?
that's what just created.
Oh my goodness. Oh, there's your principal. And this is you? Long hair like you.
That would be me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, one of the things that I've done in every school that I've taught in,
So what's your job here? Who are you?
I'm
You're the
the-
technics teacher?
no, I'm the STEM/drone/MediaArts teacher.
I see.
Yeah. So,
Wow. And how long have you been here?
close this a little. I've been here for 2 years. I'm retired.
Yeah, what a great retirement. I love
I'm
it.
retired. I retired like two years ago, and Mr. Edwards just happened to be the AP at one of the schools that I had
Which
taught
was
in.
also in Brooklyn. You were also.
Yeah. And he came over here and, he said, we got to start this drone program again. Because we had started one.
Drone or drum?
Drone.
What's that mean? Do you have
Drone.
drones flying all over the place?
That's correct.
Get it down. And you're teaching the kids to do all that.
Absolutely. Oh, and you should know that,
Robotics. Look at
that,
this.
that at least 75% of the pictures that you're looking at were done by the students, not by me. Just so you know.
Tell me what your name again?
Terrance.
Oh, Terrance. I'm kidding.
Hi, Kitty. Barney, how you doing?
I'm Barney, nice to meet you.
This
Same
place
here.
is fabulous. Did you make this all happen, or was this happening before the two of you arrived?
That happened because
The two of you?
Yes.
This is Terrance.
Hello.
I'm kidding.
how you doing?
This
Hello.
Barney.
And you are an assistant principal? Or
Oh, no.
He's a genius.
I'm just
Yeah, he's our resident genius. Yes, he is.
Resident genius.
STEM teacher. That's,
Look at this. This thing's incredible.
as I said, you're not going to find another school that does.
You must be having a grand time
Oh,
in retirement. I love it. That's the best thing.
I'll swap
This is just
with you.
cool.
This is when I was a.
So how long did you teach? How long were you teaching?
25.
25 years?
This is where
Wow.
I started teaching at the Martin Luther King School
Oh, in Manhattan.
in New Haven.
Oh, New Haven.
New Haven, Connecticut, yep. And somewhere here I've got a
Hey.
yearbook.
Oh, really?
Look at this student council you've got.
You'll see a much younger version of me, a million years ago, and all the kids.
So do you get extra funding for this? How does this all work?
Extra funding?
No, I wish.
Our pocketbook.
This is fabulous.
Thank you.
I've been around schools a long time. This is good.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's my class.
You've already mentioned it.
That's me.
You are teaching.
I was at
You can see the amount of diversity we have.
I was elementary school for a long time, and then I taught graduate students for a long time. So this has been my business for a long time. And I did some work in the office for a bunch of years.
So-
This was
I did the third and fourth grade,
this is great.
and then we did a yearbook, and they had to write about all their memories of kindergarten and first grade, and
Right.
the day one of the kids went down to the pond and came back with a snake.
Oh.
Right?
What did they back to the school?
Brought back to the school. Look, Mr. Brower, look what I found, was the way he said it. And yeah,
This
it
is
was.
this must have cost a small fortune.
Mr. Carney makes the magic
No,
happen.
it doesn't, it's just time. It's just time. Oh, most definitely. I mean, the idea is that if we're going to publish something, it should look just as good as anything I can see out of the newsstands. And if the kids can do that, it's kind of like, that's what their stepstone is going to look like when they go on the outside and start doing things. They won't accept mediocrity.
You want to come talk to Mike? I got people you could talk to. Well, this is wonderful.
And I'll show you other adventures as an educator.
1973.
Yeah, it's a long time. And this was, I was principal in the city of Boston, okay?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if you've ever heard of a horrible guy named Whitey Bulger, who was a gangster in,
I heard it.
in South Boston.
Yeah.
And my school was in the housing project that was his headquarters. Okay, so I said to everybody, we gotta rebrand our neighborhood, right? And I didn't know how I was gonna do that. And then I heard on the radio, historian David McCullough was talking about Evacuation Day. Evacuation Day is a holiday in Boston. It is March, and nowhere else.
Right.
It is March 17th, so everybody thinks it's St. Patrick's Day, which it is,
Hi.
right?
Oh,
But
okay.
Evacuation Day is actually the day when the Redcoats left Boston. You know the Redcoats out
Nice to
there,
meet you.
okay?
Nice to- I'm kidding.
And almost
Nice to meet you.
nobody knows the
What's your
story
job?
of what happened, except for the Redcoats there, right?
I'm the librarian.
Right.
Mario, I'm going to ask you
What
one
a
favor.
wonderful-
Can you save that story for our podcast? Because we
Hi.
have.
For your podcast?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes,
Okay.
Bonnet.
How are you?
Yeah.
I'm Danielle Bonin. Nice to meet you.
Hello, and you are a teacher?
This is a
I am, yes. The library this year.
Library this year?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm a veteran school principal, and I just brought, when I started as a teacher, we did a yearbook at the Martin Luther King School.
Oh, and I'm doing the yearbook this year for 5th grade.
And then,
I can't wait to see yours.
and then we did a history book when I was in school in a housing project in Boston. And it was famous for a gangster named Whitey Bulger.
But you can hold this for the podcast.
Yes, for the
right?
podcast,
Because,
right?
I mean,
Right.
Well, you-
But I listen,
I've heard the story.
He is open to
I can
take
a
around
walk
the
around the neighborhood.
Maybe you could tell the stories.
Maybe I could.
right, so we wanted to save the stories that you told me when we spoke briefly on the phone for the podcast. Right, we have a whole room set up for you.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
amazing.
I just can't go with it. I
great.
really,
Really?
yeah, it's true. It's really true.
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
You should be.
This was the first version of our book,
Evacuation Day.
when the Redcoats left Boston.
So,
Yes, I
what
learned
comes
all
to-
about it yesterday. Mr. Edwards filled me in.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I did.
Well,
I shared that. It was incredible when you met because I've never heard of it.
No, in Boston, they have the St. Patrick's Day parade. So everybody thinks of it as St. Patrick, but they can't call it the reason is St. Patrick's Day. So nobody knows what Evacuation Day is.
Yeah.
And then I just happened to hear on the radio the historian explaining that's when the Redcoats left. And it's a terrific story because there was no killing. It was just this incredible idea to bring the cannons all the way across
Fort
Massachusetts.
Ticonderoga.
From Fort Ticonderoga.
I learned that in
So-
State history.
Let's do this. How about we take just a quick tour of the school and
Oh.
we can go to the podcast room and we can sit and chit chat.
Okay, so
Yes, and hear these stories. I want to hear them.
wait a second. I'm going to meet with people not in person. I'm going to do a podcast.
Right. So you're going to be I'm going to try to paint the picture as best as you possibly can. You're going to meet some people, right? Because right now K through 2, they're at lunch.
Okay.
So teachers may be stopping by, but before that, we want to definitely get you into the podcast.
Okay.
That's like.
Okay. You probably heard that Abe Stark was my grandmother's brother.
Grandmother's brother. Okay, so you
We're
are
gonna take this
the
tour now.
The great
grandnephew.
nephew.
Grandnephew.
Not great, but grand, because yesterday I thought it was the great.
Either way, he was, so when I was a little boy, he was the borough president, and then he was president of the city council. And he had a limousine, because he had a clothing store, and he had done quite well in his clothing store.
Brownsville.
In Brownsville, and And so he had a big fancy limousine, it looked like, with a driver. But since he was a city official, the driver had a gun, right? and was also his bodyguard. And the family's Jewish, so, for Passover, for the last 100 and some years, the whole family gets together. And my Uncle Abe used to come with his limousine, right, and his driver with a gun, and his grandchildren, and he had 3 grandchildren, and the twins were teenagers when I was 5 years old, and they were tall, and they were thin, and they were rich, and they came in their grandfather's limousine, right, and they were, they looked down their noses at us little kids, right?
Yes.
They were the twins, and that's how we grew up. Uncle Abe was just the borough president, and then at the end of his career, his son Stanley, the doctor, as he was known, the father of the twins,
Okay.
was sort of doing the paperwork for his father, who was no longer. Abe was old, okay, and the tragic day was when my grandmother, who was Abe Stark's sister, went to visit him, and he did not recognize his sister. And then we realized that he still was officially the borough president, right? But his son, the doctor, was apparently running his office and signing his name, and had moved all the documents into he had a big house in Brooklyn, his doctor's office. He wasn't signing his father's name, right?
It's a family secret.
Family secret. And then the next day, you get the New York Times, and it says, Abe Stark today announced, and my mother, who was tough, went ballistic. What the hell is going on? And she starts calling around, and they say, well, Stanley is kind of running the office.
You don't have to put this in the podcast.
No, but I'm telling you.
This is kind of like, you don't need to shake out.
No,
the
we won't go
family
there.
laundry.
Right.
We won't.
Okay, but
You don't
this
need
is- This is why it is hard to find out much about Abe Stark. They moved all the office into this doctor's office, his son. And then his wife, there was a fire in the house.
There was a fire.
And it all burned to the ground, including
All his records.
his wife.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna tell that to the kids, but,
No.
so all the paperwork is gone. From his whole career, was all moved into this and burned to the ground. And there's nothing in the newspapers. The newspapers didn't cover it because it was so tragic.
Yeah, when you do something like that, I mean, you can, as an official, you can legally do that.
No,
So
it was a tragedy.
He's kind of like Trump taking this stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You
no,
said it. I hadn't thought of that before, but when you said it, that's right. That's exactly
yeah,
what he
no,
did.
it was a
It
tragedy.
was a long time ago, and it wasn't the.
And then Stanley the doctor, and the woman who was always referred to as the girlfriend, I never even learned her name, moved to Florida. And the twins went off to college. They were at a private school in Brooklyn, and they went off to college. And little Michael, who was 5 years old, went with his father and a woman he called his stepmother to Florida. And then 40 years later, a friend of my mother's is in the hospital, and the doctor's name is Stark. And she said, "Oh, you related to Abe Stark?"
Small world.
She says, "You know my family. It is little Michael.
Oh, wow.
40 years later, has become a doctor like his father, and has come to New York to try to find his family." And he looks in the phone book, and there's 8 pages of Starks, right? And so he's living in outside New York and looking for his family. He says, "You know where my family is?" And so my mother went to see him, and he came to the Seder after 45 years, and, right? And
So would that be your cousin?
that would be my cousin, and he's now passed away, so all of the, and his.
That was my next question.
And his stepchild, his stepdaughters, everyone has passed away. So now I can tell the story because, you know, the people who lived through it, they're all gone. And it's why there are no records. So I met this scholar, a young African-American professor from the University of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, who came and he had done a film about Brownsville boys, right, as his doctoral dissertation.
Right.
And he made a little film. He came to we live in a Jewish neighborhood in the Jewish Film Festival area, with these 3 guys who were African American and about 6'4" and 60-something years old. And they had been on the first basketball team in Brownsville Boys Club with Mild Blade. And they hugged me. They said, you know, you saved our life. We were street kids, right? And then I meet this professor from the University of Pennsylvania who just became the first black president of the University of Pennsylvania, okay? And this was his doctoral dissertation. And he said, he grew up in Philadelphia, and his dissertation committee at the university said, you can't do research in Philadelphia. You know too much. Pick some other city. So he picked Brooklyn. He got his dissertation approved by his faculty committee. Then he took a year off, and he came to Brooklyn, and there's no paperwork, right? And he's showing this film about Brownsville, about the Jews and the blacks, and right, it's his dissertation. I have his book, which right. And when I said it, Abe Stark was my grandma. He said, I have to talk to you, because he had no idea why there was no, you know, Abe Stark, 30, 40 years, is a major figure, right? And nothing. He said, you have no idea what it's like to convince my professors that I had done my research. I had spent a year in New York. I couldn't find anything. And I said, I can tell you that story. I'll show you. So Did
you tell him the story before he finished his dissertation?
No.
No.
I mean, that
No.
would
And here's, I mean,
That's the book you're telling me.
that's the book. Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Well, on that note,
Yes, let's head up there.
let's take
This
a
is
quick
so
tour. Let's head upstairs.
I mean, I can't believe, I don't know. Usually,
With
Okay,
that,
so Kitty, you have been so engrossed in
I
that.
fascinated.
In that
Well, I'm a
book.
teacher, right?
Right. So, would you like to have that?
Oh, yeah, with a number. Can you give us?
It's
Absolutely.
What did you used to teach?
Oh, I taught a long time, because I'm very old. I taught elementary school a long time, and then I got my doctorate in art.
Oh, nice.
I love to. Yeah, so I did, I taught, third grade.
so
Okay.
Walking around.
I occasionally get to be the person, she's the big shot.
You take turns. That's why you work so well together.
And she's heard these stories too many
So
times.
I'm glad I have something.
It's so
Okay.
funny.
We're going to.
Yes.
Danielle, I'll get you upstairs.
Okay.
No, you can talk to him.
Oh, okay, I was no, nothing.
She knows you can talk to him.
Of course. No, I didn't.
Of course.
She's doing Zoom.
No, well,
Yeah, right, it looks like that, right?
Zoom meeting is something different.
Oh, yeah, she has for work.
Yeah.
Where did Barney go?
Restroom. Yeah.
This is great. This is great.
Oh, I met you,
Yes.
yes. I know, we met.
How you doing?
You live in Marine Park.
Yes. You remember.
There's a lot of names I don't remember, but I remember you were in Marine Park and you was Robin Green.
With the easy name.
It's an easy name.
Yeah.
That's easy.
It's so funny. Mr. Carney was just talking about this magazine.
It's so cool.
Post it and a pen for a
Sure.
second.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, what a coincidence. Yeah. I know you have to head out, right?
Well,
She's-
secret.
She got to see the pre-K movies
Okay, good.
and Dakota. Dakota comes wherever Miss Walsh is. I need hugs at all times. Anytime Dakota passes. Hi guys.
Very nice.
Oh, they want to get jackets. I was like, where were they? Hi, Jakai. Hi guys. Hey, Larry.
Boy, it's cool.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Would it be okay if I give you my email address and put it inside of there? I'd love to say hi, and I'd love to,
Sure.
learn a little bit more from you.
Okay.
I'd love to talk to you.
Before you leave, okay.
Yeah, I'd love to talk more.
Okay.
So nice.
Well, I'm gonna leave, but
Me
it was
too.
lovely meeting you.
Is it
Caitlin, yeah.
Caitlin, Melissa.
Melissa, I remember.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you for the,
Well, whatever.
no, literally, like, you should be interviewed for the podcast too. Her experience is amazing.
They'll both be back, so
Yeah?
one of many visits. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You need to be interviewed for the podcast.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
She teaches people to be teachers. She's
Harvard.
mentoring,
And I'm retired.
and still mentoring doctoral students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. But anyway,
Yes.
But you do the hard work.
I'll need to, next time you come up, to tell you who's the professor at Harvard X, because I don't
Oh,
remember.
I don't know.
It's just like, an online, and
It's administration.
yeah, it's for culturally responsive, and, it took about, no, it took about 3 months to complete. But it's self-paced, so, yeah. But it was a part of like a research project there. It was great.
It was nice meeting you.
It was
Hopefully
nice
see
to
you
meet you.
again.
Nice to meet you.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
And
Thank you
have a
for your
great
time.
birthday party if we don't see you.
Yes, and happy birthday.
Okay.
Marty, this is my guidance counselor,
How
Mrs.
are
Graves.
you?
Wanted to meet you.
Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you.
Yeah.
I heard you were just interviewed for the podcast.
I was interviewed in the podcast. Is there anything we done or is
One last thing, you can just get a quick photo, and then
a photo? Okay.
I will.
Okay. With my wife? Or
Yes, absolutely.
You want one on your phone?
No.
She doesn't want me to pay.
Wait.
It's hard enough being married to me.
So I'm not getting anything. No.
Oh, you might not have.
Oh, yeah, I did. So,
Okay. Well,
Thank you so much.
nice to meet you, and I really
it's fine.
miss being in schools.
We'll be back.
And my sister-in-law.
Text me, let me know they're coming, and we'll make sure to roll out the red carpet.
Okay, and if your kids get ready to write to,
Yeah.
Bridget,
Yeah.
right?
They will.
If they don't get it, I'll call them up and say, hey, wait a second, I told you.
No, we're definitely gonna
Did you
teach
say
you.
that?
Oh,
Pretty
that'd be
sure.
fun.
Find out do about that. All right?
Good. Good, good.
So
No service?
Zoom.
Did you want to take anything?
That's right.
No, thanks.
You know what? Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't.
Are you in the parking lot?
Yeah, in the shopping center, yeah. Yeah, never have.
I keep pushing.
Hey, some people, men wish they had hair like yours.
Oh, yeah, but I want to be tall and have hair. That hasn't happened.
Have you had it since a kid?
No,
Yeah.
this is like in the past 15 years or so. Actually, yeah, 15, 16 years.
I want to meet some of these kids.
That's my group,
That's your group.
my class,
She's
third, fourth, and fifth.
she's as tall as Mr. Edwards practically.
Yeah, she's really tall, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this is. I started teaching at the Martin Luther King School, and this could have been our class.
Yeah, right.
It was a neighborhood called Dixwell, neighborhood in New Haven, and it was all African kids.
Fascinating. So when that the episode gets published, I'll give you a call and send a link to you so you can
Okay.
listen up.
Okay.
I want to send it recorded, but a video call.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it and see if it's.
Okay, it's
Just before at least you know.
yeah, I've told the story enough times that my wife could get it.
Well, you can share it. You can
Yeah.
share the link with
Yeah, okay.
whoever you need. And,
And if any
Yeah.
new came in, it should like come up there.
Oh, I don't know.
Is it
Didn't for a minute, I thought it was something, no.
So things kind of become normal
So I did it
post-COVID
yesterday, so that I
here, is that like behind you now?
yeah, I think we're back to normal. The hardest part is convincing parents to come back.
Do you know the first name by any chance?
I'm sorry, the hardest part is.
Getting parents to convincing parents to come back into
Or
the
was
school.
it Zoom meeting?
So I can just go back to
Apprehensive.
grade.
Yeah, I think that's canceled.
Even the number of most were forgetting COVID.
Yeah.
It took place. Yeah. Would you like for me to get you a laptop and you could probably type the Zoom link in there?
Well, if I first have to find the Zoom link, that's my problem. Well,
Okay,
that
all
would
right.
be nice, but I don't know.
Hello?
Zoom? And I kind of-
Yeah, I had a.
Yeah, possibly. Or the name of,
I thought I remembered, but I didn't remember.
this is already going way back, so.
Yeah, but it's okay, because she sent it to me. And
How'd you
then
make this
yesterday
book?
I went over and
I
checked
laid
out
it
what they
out.
said.
Put the
You want
work
to search
in,
by
and,
keyword just
there's
to see
a
if that's
company
possible?
online called Blurb.
I'm not doing it well now,
We'll print it.
so.
Oh, really?
I do,
Oh, you have multiple
So you
Gmail
laid out the
accounts,
pages.
or multiple accounts, so it might be in a different email.
but it would be, maybe
You
the
know,
meetings
you know how to do this, or you
Would that
just
be-
taught yourself, or?
I've been doing it for a while, and I'm also a
This
photographer.
is it, it's 12 o'clock.
Long time ago, I was
So
still
the first thing is, I mean,
studio.
yeah, you still have
How did
10
you find
minutes.
it?
started.
What did you do?
You found it.
Okay, so,
It was in your, another email.
so I can simply do it, remind you, you're registered, all right, so.
In every school that
So
I've
it looks
worked
like
in,
you're
I
registered.
mean, I had known how to do desktop publishing when I got to my
Yeah.
first school.
No,
And
that's
that's
yesterday.
followed me in every school that I've been.
Yes.
Most of the shots, just so you understand,
April
most of the shots
20th,
that
yeah.
were
That's,
done in
We've
this
accessed a meeting
magazine
using
done by the
media
kids.
credentials,
And I just shoot
using
some,
confirmation
obviously.
email. Okay, so it looks
They
like
do
we
the
should have
vast
gotten
majority.
one more email
from
from
this.
Yeah, from GSU Alumni Services, or SAMI Mentor Focus Group is something else you can type in. Do you want me to?
Yeah, but yeah, oh, do you know I posted?
Oh, no,
There it
it's
is,
okay.
that was the one.
Not that, say the kids. Now, the kids, your job is to write some things that go in this book.
Well, they do write some things that are in the book.
Yes.
What was happening? Student council, yeah. What has happened, I think, with when I was actually in a classroom, practically 90% of whatever,
Oh, here it is. Yes.
whatever the,
So now,
went into the books
Yep.
was written by the kids. But I don't have classes.
What if you,
I'm here 2 days a week,
because if you can, then you can just click that link.
and I'm going to,
retired,
And do it on your
so
phone, if,
that's easy.
the amount of reaction or interaction I have with the kids is not as much.
Needs to be looked
I think he has other things.
Stuff
Uh,
like
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
But
if you
yeah,
just want a
past,
space,
yeah,
it's up to
90%
you, like, you're welcome
So
to
you're,
stay in school.
you're a
It's if you
part-time
feel like
staff
Barney needs to
person.
go, then you do it on your phone.
I get it.
Barney, so this thing that's happening is happening.
Okay, well, I'd love to come back.
This is your
Thank you
place.
for getting it.
Yeah,
This is my
my
folder,
pleasure.
great.
And so I can just,
Hold
I
that
can,
here.
I can just do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you
would
could just
never,
click that.
Got enough
and I
for
can
you.
be plugged in. It's fine.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Robin Green.
Yes.
Wow.
It's so nice to meet you.
All is well?
Yes, and you as well, I think.
My granddaughter.
It's ready?
Okay, we're ready.
Okay.
You spent an awful lot of time with us, you have other things on your plate.
It's nice to meet you. Have a safe trip back.
Thank you,
Like
thank
your
you.
principal.
Take care.
There are so many of you. You don't have big chairs in the front.
She's still here, or she graduated?
She's upstairs
Bye-bye,
at middle
Robin.
school,
Nice to
middle
meet
school.
you.
Oh, there's, okay, upstairs is the middle school.
Upstairs, they share part of the third floor and then they have the fourth.
Great.
But yeah, she was one of my good students.
Uh-huh.